This is an audio that gives you new vocabulary and related forms of the same root word as the word from the film industry. The first word in the middle row and the first word in the left row, the vocabulary word, comes from EnglishPage.com. In the rightmost row, you have other forms of the root word, and you have a link to the Cambridge Dictionary page that gives you a place where you can hear the pronunciation of the word in British and in American English. First word, alternative. Adjective, something which is done in a different way, not done in the normal way. For example, in the U.S., alternative films are usually artistic films or foreign language films. Other forms of the word are alternate, alternates, alternating, alternated. And an alternate is a person who is chosen as a second or a backup in case something happens and the first person cannot perform the duties of an office. For example, when Miss Universe is chosen, there's an alternate if for some reason she is sick or incapacitated. And we also talk about alternate and alternating and alternated too as verb. And there's an adjective, alternating current, in electricity, I believe. A phrase that you hear a good bit is alter ego. A person's alter ego is a personality that person takes on that's not their usual personality. Okay. There's the link for the pronunciation and related word forms. Artsy. Artsy is an adjective meaning something artistic, overly artistic, or too artistic. It often suggests that someone tried too hard to make something artistic. The root form is art, the noun. Another noun form is artistry, which is the quality of the art of a person. For example, we might say Monet's artistry is most impressive in his latest paintings. The arts is a noun plural form for several arts. For example, art, as in drawing and painting, music and dancing are the arts. Artist, of course, is the person. Artistic is an adjective describing something someone has done that may not be real art. It may be something like the way a chef has presented a dinner, for example. It might be described as artistic. Artistically is the adverb. But there's a new word in use. It's called artisanal, and it simply means rustic or something made locally by hand. We see signs all over Europe and the Americas just advertising artisanal bread, which simply means rustic bread. Entertaining, you know that word, I'm sure. Adjective is something which entertains, amusing, and interesting. The verb forms are entertain, entertains for third person singular, entertained, and entertaining, I've omitted here. Entertainment is the noun describing or naming something that is produced or put on. For example, we might say one of the entertainments during the conference is a musical comedy that we're going to see. Entertainer is the person who entertains. Hilarious, something which is very funny, something which makes you laugh out loud is hilarious. The noun form is hilarity. The adverb is hilariously. Intense. If something is intense, it has strong emotions or feelings. A person is often described as being intense too, and it can refer to being so strong in one's expression of emotions that one behaves in an extreme way. The verb forms are intensify, intensifies, intensifying, and intensified. An intense film is one which emotionally drains you or makes you tired. An action film, for example, an adventure film. Intense is not necessarily negative. It simply means that a movie is not light or it's not relaxing. Intensive as an adjective is used in the phrase intensive care, a hospital unit for people who are in danger of dying. In America, at least, it's often abbreviated ICU for intensive care unit. Intensification is a noun. To be intent on doing something is a phrase that we use with the adjective intent. Intentional is an adjective, and intentionally is an adverb, as in, I don't think he bumped into me intentionally. Light. Of course, you know what light is, but it's relaxing, amusing, not intense, the opposite of intense. We have the noun lighter, of course, lamp lighter, someone who used to light gas lamps before there was electricity. Lights, lighting, light, lit, the simple past tense, and then relight, relighting, relighted. Lighten, lightens, lightning, and lighted. Those are verb forms as well. Note, there are many words and phrases with the base word light, so the link above shows a number of those other forms. Mainstream, something which is usual or commonly done. For example, mainstream films are those which are usually high budget, popular, and made for entertainment. A mainstream film or movie is the opposite of an alternative film. And so we might hear the phrase mainstreaming. It's often used to refer to special education students or students with disabilities. Sometimes teachers will say they are mainstreaming students with handicaps. That is, they're putting them in the regular classroom. But streaming, just by itself, without main, has to do, of course, as you know, with video or audio that you get from the internet. So the American verbs are mainstream, mainstreaming, mainstreamed, and there's the dictionary link for more information. Superficial. If something is superficial, it's not deep, it's not profound, it lacks any real content. It's only on the surface. And the prefix super, from the Latin, of course, means above or on the top. The adverb superficially, the noun is superficiality. Suspenseful, something which makes you keep guessing or makes you question how something will end is suspenseful. Action-adventure films are especially suspenseful, but comedies and dramas can also be suspenseful. Depends on the plot. Suspense is a noun. Suspension is that should be an adverb here, used as an adverb as well as a noun. And notice that it has a technical meaning too, as in the suspension system of a car. Suspend, suspends, suspending, suspended are the verb forms. Thought-provoking, something which makes you think, used to describe many different things, such as movies, books, conversations, ideas, issues, and so forth. And there should be a period after think, and then it is used to describe so on and so forth. Okay. In other words, you might say that The Imitation Game was a very thought-provoking movie. Here's some additional vocabulary related to films and TV that I think would be helpful for you to know. Obviously, scene. A scene is a part or a segment of a film or a play. For example, in one of the most famous scenes in the history of movies or films, in Fellini's film La Dolce Vita, The actress Anita Ekberg wades into the Trevi Fountain in Rome while wearing a strapless black evening dress. And that picture was shown around the world again a week or so ago when Anita Ekberg died. Scenery is the noun. Scenic is the adjective. For example, we had a very scenic drive from Verona down to Firenze, I think it is, isn't it? Scenario from the Italian, I believe. And finally, plot. The plot is the order in which events or actions take place or happen in a film, or in a TV drama, or in a short story, or in a novel. So we can also use the verb form too. Somebody plot or plots. Somebody is plotting something. Somebody plotted something. And often that can describe, or that verb can be used to describe something that criminals are doing, as in they were plotting the overthrow of the government. The Argentinian president thought that the intelligence forces were plotting to kill her. Right, that concludes our list of film vocabulary for now. We will do practice in person so that you can use these words many times and incorporate them and the phrases that go with them into your working vocabulary.